What if I told you that the Apostle Paul was not just a preacher, but a man who lived under constant pressure, always moving, always watched, always one step away from danger? Today, we are not going to repeat the traditional story you already know. This is not another biography. Today, we are stepping into the real daily life of Paul. How he traveled, how he behaved, how he thought, how he survived, and how he carried his calling while facing exhaustion, rejection, fear, and isolation. Stay with me until the end, because understanding how Paul actually lived may completely change the way you see faith, sacrifice, and purpose. And if this kind of content adds value to you, subscribe to the channel right now, leave a like, and share this video, because here we explore biblical stories from angles that are rarely shown. Paul did not live a comfortable life. He was not a man who settled down, built stability, and preached from a safe distance. His life was defined by movement, constant movement. Roads, ports, prisons, hostile cities, unfamiliar faces. Every journey pulled him further away from safety and deeper into uncertainty. He never knew how he would be received. In one city, people might listen. In the next, they might stone him. And yet, he kept going. When we talk about Paul's travels, we often romanticize them. But the reality was harsh. Paul walked thousands of kilometers on Roman roads built for soldiers, not for comfort. These roads were efficient, but dangerous. Bandits were common. Violence was normal. Fatigue was constant. Paul carried little more than scrolls, basic supplies, and an unshakable conviction. Many nights, he did not know where he would sleep. Hospitality was uncertain. Trust had to be built quickly. Traveling by sea was no safer. Ships were fragile, overcrowded, and completely dependent on weather. Storms were deadly. Food was limited. Shipwrecks were not rare. Paul experienced them firsthand. These journeys were not moments of peace or reflection. They were tests of endurance, patience, and faith. Something rarely emphasized is Paul's physical presence. He did not impress people visually. He was not described as strong or charismatic. In fact, Paul himself acknowledged that some people said his letters were powerful, but his presence was weak. He did not rely on appearance, eloquence, or charm. He relied on clarity, truth, and conviction. He spoke directly. He did not soften the message to be accepted. He was calm, firm, and unwavering. Paul lived under constant observation. Jewish leaders followed him, waiting for a mistake. Roman authorities watched him with suspicion. Even within the Christian communities, some doubted his intentions. His past followed him everywhere. Every city was a new trial. Every conversation carried risk. Yet Paul never allowed fear to dictate his direction. He was cautious, but not paralyzed. One of the most overlooked aspects of Paul's life is his work. Paul supported himself by making tents. This was not a hobby. It was physical labor. He worked with his hands so that no one could accuse him of preaching for money. This gave him independence, credibility, and moral authority. During the day, he worked. At night, he taught. His faith was not theoretical. It was lived through exhaustion. Paul was not impulsive. He was strategic. He chose cities carefully, trade centers, cultural hubs, political crossroads. He understood that if the message took root in influential places, it would spread naturally. His faith was deeply spiritual, but also intelligent and intentional. He did not separate belief from strategy. Rejection was a constant companion. Paul was insulted, beaten, imprisoned, and betrayed. He was misunderstood by outsiders and criticized by insiders. Fear was real. Pain was real. loneliness was real. But Paul understood something crucial. Rejection does not cancel purpose. Often, it confirms it. If this message is speaking to you right now, take a moment to like this video and comment where you are watching from. That small action helps this content reach others who need to hear it. Paul knew how to deal with authority. He respected the law, but never compromised the truth. He used his Roman citizenship when necessary. He remained silent when wisdom demanded it. He spoke boldly when silence would be betrayal. He was not reckless. He was disciplined and purposeful. Some of Paul's most powerful letters were written in prison, chained, confined, restricted, yet mentally free. While others would despair, Paul reflected, encouraged, corrected, and strengthened communities from behind bars. Prison did not silence him. It refined him. Paul did not leave behind wealth. He did not build monuments. He did not gain political power. What he left was influence. Example: words that still speak across centuries. His life forces us to ask an uncomfortable question. Are we pursuing comfort, or are we pursuing purpose? Paul was not perfect, but he was obedient. He was not popular, but he was faithful. He did not live comfortably, but he lived meaningfully. And maybe the real question is not who Paul was, but what we are willing to do with the calling placed on our own lives. If this video challenged you, subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and share this message with someone who needs it today. Here, we continue to explore biblical stories in ways few dare to present. I'll see you in the next video.